No matter whether you know it as mirroring, mimicking, or even attunement, synchronizing your behavior with those you meet has been shown to have many, many benefits when it comes to business interactions. And the great news is psychological research suggests it's easier to do when you're face to face. My name is Jonathan Bradshaw, and welcome to this edition of We Love Live. For over 10 years, I've been researching, speaking, training, and coaching on a subject I call metology, the behavioral science powering superb social skills. And I'm pretty sure at almost every event I've spoken at around the world, or indeed to those I work with on a coaching capacity at an individual level, I will have recommended this book, Dan Pink's To Sell is Human. And this nugget in this edition of We Love Live is linked to this book because a whole chapter of Dan's book is called Attunement. And he focuses on the incredible research that highlights the powerful impact of behavioral synchronicity when you match your breathing rate, your physical movement, even your verbal output to those you're interacting with. There's a huge number of benefits. One of them, for example, was in sales. I saw in one bit of research, not in Dan's book, I don't think, but a 17% increase in retail sales when the people who were selling, the sales agents on the shop floor, were encouraged to try and match the behaviors and the movements of the customers who were coming in. But the insight this week doesn't relate directly to influence and persuasion, which is obviously what Dan's book is all about. It relates to negotiation. Let me explain more. The research paper I'm basing this week's edition of We Love Live on was published in 2008 in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology. The researchers were a bunch of psychologists, both from the US and from France, and they entitled their paper, Chameleons Bake Bigger Pies and Take Bigger Pieces. Strategic behavioral mimicry facilitates negotiation outcomes. The upshot of their research, everybody, was the following. Negotiators who mimicked their opponent's mannerisms were more likely to create a scenario that benefited both parties. Now, what's a good, positive negotiation outcome? It is what it says there. It's both parties to feel success. There's no point one party feeling they've been victorious and the other one going away thinking that wasn't a great outcome. That's not going to foster long-term interaction and business, is it? Both parties need to feel good. And those in this experiment, those that were encouraged in the experiment to mimic their opponents, the word they use, opponents' mannerisms, seem to do better. There's loads more psychology on this and it sort of supports what's in Dan's book as well, doesn't it? So very interesting. But then we could go one step forward because I was reading a very interesting article in Psychology Today. They were saying and promoting and highlighting the fact that it's easier to mimic when we're face to face. And that's relatively obvious, isn't it? Very, very difficult to pick up mannerisms when you're speaking to someone virtually, or more difficult, shall I say. Anyway, in this Psychology Today article that I mentioned, they interview a number of people in relation to the social science around us not as humans being able to socially interact. It came out at a very interesting time. It was May 2020, a very in-depth article. It's called Face to Face. Relating in a changed world, Psychology Today, if you want to look it up. And if you do, you'll see a number of interesting people they interviewed, but I want to focus just on one. Emiliana Simon Thomas. She's the science director of the Greater Good Science Center at the University of California, Berkeley. Now, Emiliana focuses on the importance of being face to face if we truly want to be able to synchronize our behaviors. She says, when we're in the presence of other people, we begin to attune to the body of the other person. Our heart rates synchronize. We start to mirror each other's gestures and facial expressions, and our voices take on a similar register. Once our physiological states align, we're better able to understand each other. So negotiation outcomes are better when you mimic, and mimicking's easier when you meet face to face. A compelling reason to support live face-to-face business events. As always, please do share using the hashtag WeLoveLive. promote this to event professionals around the world. You'll find me on social media, on Twitter, just at Metology. I'm on Facebook at Study Metology, and you'll find me, I'm sure, on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching. See you next time for more science supporting live business events at We Love Live. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.